Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that her mom cheated on me when my daughter said my new girlfriend looks like an OnlyFans chick? Oh, just what YouTube needs, another reaction channel. Well, now you've got me. As a person with perfect social cues, I think I am the perfect judge to tell if someone is the a-hole or not. Throwaway account and fake names. I, 49 male, got divorced from my wife, Emily, 49 female, because she cheated on me with multiple men. We have a son and a daughter. Our son, Nick, 22 male, okay, so he's an older son, he's not young, has always been closer to his mom. And our daughter, Scarlet, 19 female, also quite old, has always been closer to me. Not knowing why we got divorced, the kids took their mom's side. Naturally, that I can see that happening. Most kids tend to take their mom's side. I recently started dating Lisa, 54 female. Okay, so he went for an older woman. She has a fun personality. She's smoking hot at the ripe age of 54, and she dresses very fun. When I introduced Lisa to my kids, Nick took a liking to her while Scarlet looked annoyed. Days later, Scarlet said that Lisa looks like an OnlyFans chick. If you knew Scarlet, you would be shocked that she would use that as a way to insult another woman. Okay, so I'm already getting that maybe she dresses up either like, let's say lots of tattoos, colorful hair, that route, e-girl, or when he says dresses very fun, might be furry territory. I don't know if that's the kind of Reddit that we're on at the moment. I told her that her mom, Emily, was the one who cheated on me. That came out of nowhere. And that I met Lisa after the divorce. Scarlet got just said, oh, and she got quiet. But the next day, my ex-wife, Emily, confronted me. I reminded her that I never promised to keep her cheating a secret. She said that I implied that it would be a secret based on the fact that I never said whether or not I would tell our kids. Am I the a-hole? Okay, so the question here is not about the situation, it's about telling the kid, as we know from the title. I think there would have been an easier way to do it. You just dropped it on your 19-year-old who's going through a divorce. Doesn't matter how old the kid is. Seeing their parents separated, as someone from a broken home, it's a tough thing to see your parent or someone else. Now, considering you were cheated on multiple times, justified, but I don't know if you did it in the best way. So let's read the edits and see what they've suggested from that. Something of an edit since I've posted. Even though my daughter was in her bedroom in my house, I messaged her because she said she doesn't want to see anyone. She sent me a very, very long message she had written beforehand. In the message, my daughter admitted that her mom and her maternal aunt said those kind of things about Lisa. Okay, so the mom was already bad-mouthing the new woman. She said she's embarrassed that she repeated those awful things. She said that she thought I was the one who cheated on her mom. I mean, that makes sense. If her mom is already bad-mouthing the new woman, she might have said something along those lines anyway, to say that he's not a great guy. She said she's not mad at me. She said she's mad at her mom. She said Lisa seems like a wonderful woman. She said she wants to talk about this face-to-face, but not anytime soon. She said she'll tell me when she's up to talking. First comment, what is dressing fun? Dude is out here asking the real questions. I have no idea. So we'll never know. But are you the a-hole? No, but you could have done it differently. My advice is sit her down and talk about the whole situation, everything, not just drop the bomb. I can assume it was said as a response to her saying she looks like an OnlyFans chick. I don't know. Are we still allowed to use the term chick? That seems not kosher. Moving on. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend I don't want to split the bills 50-50 anymore? We're going to get into this, but I think in most cases, 50-50 is a good thing. You know, equal share. That way, if you do ever leave, you have equal share. I, 28 male, okay, has been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for almost 2 years. Congratulations. From the beginning, we agreed to split everything 50-50, rent, groceries, dates, etc. That's fair. That's exactly what I was saying. I thought that was fair, even though I make significantly more than she does. I'm in tech. She's a teacher. Lately, I've started to feel weird about it. I cover some extras here and there, like vacations and bigger gifts, but basic stuff is always split down the middle. The thing is, she's clearly struggling financially, and I know she's been dipping into her savings just to keep up. Okay, so she wants to do it. She wants to be as fair as possible. Once again, this is just a simple sit down, have a conversation about the whole thing. If you're splitting it 50-50, is the reason that you are wanting to keep your things separate? So I buy my own stuff, you buy your own stuff, or is it that let's share this so that it is equal? Because in that case, what you could do is set up a budget sheet and see, okay, well, this we can afford, given that her salary is a lot less. And then these are the extra things which I'm happy to cover because I have a little bit extra money available. Or you say, okay, we'll still split things 50-50, but let me add to your savings, or let's have a joint savings account where we can maybe save up for a house in the future, if that's where they're going in their relationship. I brought it up and said, I don't think we should do a strict 50-50 anymore. Maybe something more proportional to her income. That way of saying it, I don't think was a good thing, because you're essentially saying, I earn more than you. Her reaction was not great. She said she doesn't want to feel kept or less dependent. Fair enough. Woman power. We are feminists in this channel. And if you're a feminist, make sure to scroll down and hit subscribe. And that she wants to be treated as an equal. You can still be treated as an equal because it doesn't have to be 50-50. It can be proportionate. So your 50 that you give is proportionate to your salary. I get that, but it isn't equality also being realistic with our situations. Exactly. I don't think I'm being manipulative or trying to control her. I just don't think someone should go broke to maintain a split that works on paper. Am I the a-hole for wanting to change the dynamic even though she didn't ask me to? No, definitely not. I think you are being very logical. I think the way that you approached it could have been done majorly different. Because you said you want to split it because it works on paper. Put it down on paper or on an Excel spreadsheet and say, look, here's what we earn, here's what we spend money on. You are clearly going into debt. I have this extra money available. How can we utilize this money better, or how can we split things better? One thing that she can do is maybe she just covers the groceries and you just cover the rent, which maybe is a larger portion. You're still very much dependent on her to feed you, but she's dependent on you to give her a roof. That's still 50-50 in a sense, considering how much you earn. So no, I don't think you are. But I do think you could have handled it slightly better. And thanks for putting it on Reddit so that we could give you this advice. Oh, here's a touchy one. Am I the a-hole for requesting a new seat after a special needs kid had a 2.5 hour tantrum on an international flight? International flights are typically 4 to 8 hours. So we'll see where this goes. 30 minutes after takeoff, the kid behind me, okay, he's behind you, there's already a thing. If it was on the same row as you, had an inconsolable meltdown and was screaming and forcefully kicking and hitting my seat, even knocking my headphones off my head at first. Oh, with his fist. After about an hour of this, his parents not being able to control him, I rang the service button and asked if there were any other seats I could move to. The flight attendant was amazing and immediately found a middle seat about 10 rows back. But when I stood up to move, I got heckled by the parents and the kid, as well as a bunch of neighboring passengers for being insensitive and rude. No, that's not insensitive or rude, actually. I didn't say anything to anyone other than asking the parents at the very beginning to keep him from reaching between the seats and touching me. And after the flight attendant to move, am I the a-hole for just dealing with it, or not? For not just dealing with it? Well, how do you deal with it? That's the thing. You can't turn around and shout at the kid. The kid probably didn't even want to be there. Even if it's special needs or not, even if it's just a normal kid, they don't want to be on a flight. No one wants to be on a flight. They want to be at the destination. I'm going to say, no, you're not. And 2.5 hours, I would have probably asked after the first 10 minutes if you could move. Now, I don't know how you asked. You haven't given us the context yet. I don't know if you said,
this brat behind me won't shut up.
Because if you said that might be a little bit rude. I don't believe sitting there for 8 hours getting kicked in the back is worth it, especially if there's other seats available. There's no rule that says, oh, you have to sit there because okay, hold on. I think there might be a rule that you have to be in your seat, especially if there's an emergency. But that being said, did you get up and move your bags and everything? Did you make a huff about it? Or did you just get up and move to the other seat? Because you could have disguised it by saying, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, and then sat in the other seat. Might have been a little bit less harsh for you. But no, I don't think you are. I do think you're a very brave man for sitting 2.5 hours through the tantrum and then asking to move. At that point, I think you would, I don't know. Right, moving on. Am I the a-hole for backing out of the group vacation after my friends changed the location to somewhere 3 times more expensive? So you booked a location and you agreed to it, and then they said, no, let's go to this other location. You looked at the price and it was 3 times more expensive. Whether or not you can afford it, that's already crazy that someone has done that. I'm assuming they have rich parents. Me, 29 bail, and my friend group of 5 years, okay, not that long, had been planning this trip for months. Okay, fair. The original plan was a cabin weekend in the mountains about 3 hours from where we all live, which was super reasonable at $150 per person for 3 nights plus food and drinks. That's actually really good. We've planned a trip for the end of the month, and it is roughly the same. And that was honestly scraping, begging for discounts. Phoned the hotel, said, what's the best price you can give me? And after a long conversation, we managed to get this price. So if you already had this, not bad at all. 2 weeks ago, 3 people in the group out of 7 total, okay, suddenly decided we should upgrade to this beachfront resort in a different state that's somehow still available. Now the cost is jumping to $400 per person, just for accommodation. Not counting flights, which weren't even part of the original plan. Okay, that's already a no. It's like, oh, we have to get flights now? Well, that's a no. Considering you've been planning for months and now suddenly it's changed. When I told the group I couldn't swing the new location and would have to back out, 2 of them got super weird about it. The thing is that I can afford even the second trip because I recently had a decent win from a jackpot city. So I've got the cash. Okay, so he's got the money, right? But it's still, we'll get into it. Let's carry on reading. It's just that this is a sudden change of plans is stupid and makes me think there's more to the story than just a change of plans. Okay, you might be overthinking it at this point. My closest friend in the group texted me privately saying he understands but thinks I should treat myself and that I'm being too responsible sometimes. Okay, I think there's more to the story that we're not getting here because I think the people that did change must have said somewhere that, can we all afford this? Because he can. I don't think they were in a situation where it's like, sorry, I can't afford this. I don't think anyone would get weird about that because given the current economic climate, there's a lot of things that people can't afford. And making fun of someone who can't afford something is not right at all because you don't know their situation. I'm guessing that the 2 people that decided they should upgrade might have a bit more money in their accounts to not think about the price of flights or to not have that extra $250 be an issue for them. However, my only concern is that this was a sudden change. So what is the other story? What could it be? Maybe they're going to see other friends that are in that location and it's going to split you up. I don't know what the issue would be that there's more to it. Maybe they have better plans. Maybe the weather is nicer on the beach than it would be in the mountains. That's the whole point of having a group chat where you discuss your trips, and they do typically take months to discuss. I don't think you are the a-hole. Again, we haven't had an issue. What you should do is just go to the original thing. Go by yourself. Take some of your other friends with you. Considering it's cheaper, and the 2 people that did want to go to the $400 location, let them go. You don't have to go with everyone. You can have fun on your own or just one other person. Ah, okay. So a friend wants their getaway subsidized. If you drop out, the increase to the remaining 6 is approximately $70. Tell them he can afford it and to treat himself. Okay. So that's why they want to all go together because they're going to obviously the rent, or the Airbnb, sorry, is going to be less divided by 7 people. So they obviously saying, oh no, you have to come because it's going to be more expensive for them now. So good catch there. Am I the a-hole for wanting my sister to change her wedding date because it falls on my graduation? My sister's getting married next year, May 17th, 2025. That's literally like a couple of weeks ago. This is the problem because I graduate that day. I was informed about the date in March. Okay. Long story short, I was looking at my academic calendar just a few days ago and found out that that was my graduation day. My school usually graduates during the first week of May, so it was a surprise to me. I let my parents know about the date and they told me to tell my sister. When I told her about the date, I asked her if she could change the date. She told me she had already changed the date 3 times and she wasn't going to change it for a 4th. Okay. She told me that she was sorry and she'll understand if I can't come. I was kind of upset because I thought it was very dismissive. When I told her that, she got mad and she told me that I can't expect her to try and change her date again and that it was set and it was final. Now I'm kind of worried that none of my family members would be at my graduation and I won't be able to see my sister get married. Okay, that's a fair concern. I understand that this is an inconvenience for her, but she could change her wedding date and I have no control over my graduation date. No, you can definitely change your graduation date. Go speak to the school, get it a weekend later. When I talked to my parents about who's going to be at my graduation, they just told me not to worry about it that right now because it's not the time to stress about that. Okay, very dismissive from the parents, but I am. Okay, it's fair to be concerned. My parents are telling me that they are going to try and convince my sister to change the date, but I doubt she will. Wedding, big day. Especially, she's the bride, and the bride is always right. Graduation, also big because you've put, I would say, assume 4 years into this, or maybe it's high school graduation. So 5-6 years into this. Obviously, you can't change that. But graduations typically are done in the morning, and maybe the wedding could be in the evening. So there is definitely a workaround. But asking your sister to change the wedding date, considering how hard it is to get a venue on a specific date, and she's already changed it 3 times with probably a wedding planner who is probably charging or increasing prices. The first location is probably the cheapest at a certain date, and then change the date. Oh, well, the price is going to go up now because more people want it at this stage. Considering your graduation. Now, if it is high school, don't take offense to this, guys, please. A high school graduation, honestly, doesn't mean much. I know that's the first 18 years of your life, but after that, you're going to forget about high school very quickly. You're going to go to college. You're going to have a college graduation. You might do a master's degree and have another graduation. So you're going to graduate again. Hopefully your sister is not going to get married again. So go to your graduation, maybe have just your mom and dad there, or just one parent or someone, take the photo and then hop over to the wedding. Unfortunately, in terms of priorities, I would say the wedding is costing a lot more money than your graduation is. So maybe just look into that. I don't think you are the a-hole, but I don't think you can ask your sister or expect your sister to change her date. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to scroll down, leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, obviously because you're not a feminist, you can subscribe now. Now it's your chance. This is the last one. My husband gave me a warning tap and I called it abuse. Am I the a-hole? Okay. Well, if you're already calling for abuse, I don't know where this relationship is going. As I'm writing this, I'm laying in bed with my mom. Okay. She's helping me to gather my thoughts for some other opinions. I am female, 24, and my husband's male, 30. We've been together for 3 years and married for 1. Okay, so pretty much still in the honeymoon phase. This is a throwaway account just in case, all right? About a week ago, my husband and I got into an argument over his phone, which he had misplaced. I was in the shower and he had lost it. And when I came out, he was throwing a fit over it. He was like, "Where'd you put it? Have you seen it?" Angrily yelling and snapping. I said I hadn't touched it and I needed to get dressed. My husband was standing in the doorway, looking behind the door, and I couldn't open it. I said, "Hello, move, please." Apparently, my tone was rude. Okay. I don't know how that could be Rude anyway, because my husband turned around and shoved me into the room. I was like, okay, you need to calm down. It does seem like he needs to calm down. I can help you look, but I have to get dressed. Fair enough. He tells me to hurry up. I snap back. I'm not going to hurry up. This isn't my fault. No, unless you've hidden the phone. It's not your fault. My husband turned around and hit me on the mouth with the back of his hand. It didn't really hurt, but I was appalled. He called it a warning tap because of my attitude. Oh my word. I left right then and there. Okay, fair. So saying warning tap in the title threw me off because no, that I agree with you. I agree with you that his attitude, sorry, not your attitude, his attitude is the issue. I called my mom and came over. I haven't left. My brother took me over the next day to get a few things. My husband asked me if this is really necessary, and I said yes, it is when you abuse your wife. Listen, if you've been together just a year, he's lost something as simple as his phone. I know that he is an aggressive man. He's given you a warning tap, meaning that this is your first warning. Next time he loses his phone, next time it falls down the side of the couch, he's coming after you because you took it and hit it. He was so stricken that I called it abuse. Well, that's because it is. It's, if not physical, it's definitely emotional abuse because you are essentially warning her that it's going to happen again, probably harder next time. He screamed at me. Oh, there we go. He screamed again. He said, I can ruin his career if I use that word. Okay, well, buddy, don't abuse women. I know that I can, and I know that he didn't even hurt me, but that's how I feel. He sent me several texts threatening to divorce me if I use that word again. Oh my goodness gracious. Where do you guys find these men to try to hurt his career or saying it to someone important? Am I the a-hole for saying this, potentially citing this, and potentially ruining his career? First comment, when my boyfriend couldn't find his phone, he asked me to call him, like a normal person. He has a lot of pent-up anger, and it's going to only get worse. Life gets stressful. He's 30. I know how he feels. It's going to get worse. It's going to get more angry. And the worst thing that can happen is, yes, he's abusing you now. You guys have kids. That anger is going to go straight from you to the kid. And we don't hit kids. We need to protect our children. Okay. So no, you are not the a-hole. You need to leave that man. And the rest of you at home need to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.